think the meeting stopped because of, a network issue, but now we have resumed again. So, we were talking about animal care and the sufferings which are, you know, which we have put for the animals. I think intentionally or subconsciously, or I don't know, but it is definitely a human being's fault. Now, how can we compensate? That was all that I told you about the situation of the animals, which is so pathetic and horrible. Now, how can we compensate? We can build shelter homes for the animals. We can uh, feed them when we see them hungry or thirsty. We can adopt the animals, which is, I think, the most easiest thing that can be done, and develop love towards animals. Some people do not, they're not so comfortable with the animals. Some have, of course, allergies, it's their genuine problems, but some have, other superstitious or religious problems, especially with cats and dogs. So, first of all, you have to be open-minded, you have to be thoughtful, you have to be considerate because nothing will ever come to good unless and until you change your mindset and unless and until you become the change you wish to see in this world. It is not easy. I'm not saying it's going to be really easy, a 1 minute task. No. It is going to take time. It is going to take consideration. It is going to take a lot of your effort to wanting to change, to be willing to bring a change. Climate change can be dealt in a number of matters. Reduce industrialization, following the 3 R's: recycle, reduce, and reuse, and creating awareness on the SDGs, and joining organizations and foundations that are genuinely, practically, you know, raising awareness on climate change and that are, you know, there are some government programs as well that are um, funding the authorities to tell the people about how to, you know, protect the world from climate change and how to stop this action from taking place, this action of global warming that is destroying almost everyone. And by 2050, it is expected that we'll have a very, very a burning temperature in our summers, freezing cold in winters, and and in the oceans, the plastic will be more than there are fish, more than there is, marine life. All thanks to the human beings. Because animals, it is not their fault what they did, what is happening, because they can think the way we do. They don't build, they don't kill, they don't, reproduce at a rate. We are reproducing without any shame, and we're just so proud of it. People want to have more and more and more children. They want to accumulate more and more and more wealth. For what? Come on. Change your mindset. This is for nothing. It's just a burden on yourself, on the economy, on the country, on the globe, on the earth. Stop it, come on. On the Mother Earth that is slowly destroying, heating up, and eventually what? It will just burst up like that. And in the coming generations, in the coming centuries, we are gonna be responsible. This generation is gonna be responsible if we do not act in an ethical way in the right time. We're gonna be responsible for what's happening, what's gonna happen. Wars um and chaos and destruction, anarchy, lack of natural resources, unemployment, and all the issues that are arising just because of increased industrialization. Industrialization is not bad, but there should be a limit to everything. Just like an excess of everything is bad, there needs to be a stop to it at a certain level. And definitely, if we're not gonna, focus on such things, we're gonna ruin ourselves because intentionally. We know people are telling us continuously that protect yourself, protect the earth, protect the animals, and we're still not doing that because we think we come first. We have a right to always come first, be the first in the line. Why? No, animals need to be helped. They can't do anything themselves. They are in a way self-dependent. Okay, let's for a moment assume that animals, get their food themselves and they live by themselves. We don't need to adopt them. That's not possible. That is not possible, at least in today's world. In this time, it is not possible because we don't give them enough space. We don't give them enough space to think where to live, to think where to get their food from. We cut the grass, we cut the trees, we destroy their habitat. The birds that live in the trees, they migrate to somewhere else. Over there, the situation is worse than it was in country A. Country B is, even more pathetic. Will they migrate somewhere else? Where the situation is, the worst? What will they do? Living in farms, animals, it was their place. Then farmers come, they, harvest, they put on the crops, and they slowly cut down everything. Where will the animals go? The elephants, the cheetahs, the tigers that are being killed, the butterflies, the turtles, the polar bears. Since the temperature is dropping in Antarctica because of climate change, the ice is slowly melting, the glaciers are melting, and as a result, the polar bears, whose home is in Antarctica, they are just losing their homes. Because they are cold-blooded animals, they can't live um in such a hot weather and a high temperature. Why are we so I don't know what word to use, horrible. That's horrible what we are doing, and we're not doing out of we're not subconscious, we're very fully aware of what's happening, but we just don't want to dwell in such uh unnecessary things and unimportant matters, that are for us so unimportant. It is a matter of utmost, sadness and pity that we are losing most of the animals that were here in this world by 1950, and by 2050, 70% of them would have extincted. Because of whom? Because of us humans. A lot of species of the butterflies, the cheetahs, the markhors that are, that once used to live on the Himalayas, they are no more over there. And whose fault is that? It is our fault, of course. Like, poverty is our fault, unemployment is our fault, and um, destruction of animals' habitats is our fault, and a lot of things that are happening slowly and will increase over time. It is all our fault. We don't have enough money to start up new businesses, to industrialize these things, to make schools, to make buildings, to make, I don't know, shops or retailers. We don't have enough money to make shelter homes for the animals. There are enough shelter homes for humans, like the old age homes, like the orphanages, but why not the shelterless animals homes? Why? Animals are, I think they're so cute and cuddly, so innocent, and so I think uh they don't need much. They don't need so much expensive foods or clothing, houses. They just need love, care, and affection, which we are lacking to give them, to provide them. Why? I know it may seem very uh insignificant or useful to help them, but even if we just take a small step towards improving our future, because there is no planet B. We just have to live on this planet A on Earth. Unless, we do something more technological, which is not expected unless and until we are more technological and um self self-sufficient, and of course dwelling into such matters of um, going to other planets, searching for other planets such as Mars and Jupiter. It's not possible, of course, and not for the developing countries, obviously. We can go to another planet. We can improve this planet. There is still time. It is better late than never. If you think that no, we can't do anything right now, it is too much destruction. 80% of the destruction is caused. We can't do anything now. No, it's wrong. It's a wrong theory. Science tells us, philosophy tells us that it is never late to make a good step, to take a good step, to make a very, brilliant, slow change, because slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be very, doing it just at this time. You can take some time, but do this. Now, more about the climate change. Mm, yes, Earth scientists and atmospheric scientists are still seeking a full understanding of the complex feedbacks and interactions among the various components of the Earth system. This effort is being facilitated by the development of an interdisciplinary science called Earth System Science, which is composed of a wide range of disciplines, including climatology, the study of the atmosphere, geology, ecology, and oceanography, glaciography, and social sciences, the study of human behavior in its social and cultural aspects. Undoubtedly, people have been always aware of climatic variation at the relatively short time scale of seasons, years, and decades. Biblical scriptures and other early documents refer to droughts, floods, periods of severe cold, and other climatic events. Nevertheless, a full appreciation of the nature and magnitude of climatic change did not come about until the late 18th and 19th century, a time when the widespread recognition of the deep antiquity of Earth occurred. We know about the Revolution in Britain in the early 90s, and this caused a lot of emissions of harmful pollutants. And later, it became so popular that it was in levels. It had a whole hierarchy of like this much percent. The one big thing is that we just perceive things to be so normal, and it's not. We just can't see it very easily, the climate change. But the scientists have predicted that by 2030, things would be, over here. The temperature would be. It is over here right now. It will be till here. By 2050, it will be till here, and next I don't know how we will be able to survive, how our coming generations will survive, because the world is not ending till I think a century or two. It is gonna continue. We're gonna die. Of course, we are irrefutably gonna die, but our future generations are gonna come. Even if we try to not reproduce, if we decide to, you know, act wisely and prudently, other people are reproducing and at a very fast rate, that they will of course have generations coming, and they're not leaving anything good behind for them. Again, thanks to just the human beings, the greedy human beings who don't care about the social responsibility, about uh, there's the climate change, about the environment. It is done on purpose. Come on, you care about everything else. Why don't you care about the environment, about the ecology, about the ecosystem, about their habitats, about the animals' houses and lives? Being a student of environmental management, I have studied that it was never easy to take care of your planet, but it is even more difficult to take care of yourself in times when the nature is taking revenge and when the history is repeating itself. If we test the patience of the nature, if we test the patience of the earth till a limit, if we cross the boundaries set for us, they're definitely gonna take revenge. And when they take their worst revenge, we're gonna be nowhere. That's for obvious. So this is something we should take care of, and in future generations um, have a social responsibility, and in the next coming years act more in an ethical way and be more socially responsible to an extent which is good for ourselves, for the animals, for the plants, they are living creatures of course, and for our Mother Earth. So now I think we're gonna end this conference over here, and I think we'll soon decide and schedule another conference. And I hope this does make a good impact. This does bring a change. It does help spread awareness, and through advocacy and through action taking, we can certainly do something. We can, like Greta Thunberg, a Swedish climate activist. She is under 18 and she's a person I so much admire because of being in her youth and being a victim of a lot of disorders. She still struggled. She missed her school. She struggled for, and then it was like a few years back, she struggled for, spreading awareness about climate change. And it was like in a most inspiring way, in a most strong way, being a woman. And it was quite inspiring for the future. It can be quite inspiring for the coming generations, for our generation, for the youth, because youth are now gonna make a change, gonna uh, they're gonna do something really effective and change making, and uh, protecting ourselves. And ourselves, by ourselves I mean the animals, the humans, and the earth, because we are all one. If we become united, if we become all educated, if we become well aware of these things, we can definitely and undoubtedly do what we intend to do. And by sticking together, we can bring a very huge change. And as and in the end, I would like to say the Save Our Mother Earth is a platform that I have uh, built online to, and I do practical campaigns as well, physical campaigns, but mostly the work is online because now it is a generation of technology, and people are more live and active on technology than they are physically. So I request you all to join us. In your individual capacity, you can do whatever you want to do and adopt an animal. The theme of the day: adopt an animal, and support us to as a volunteer, as a goodwill ambassador. We want a lot of good people and talented youth to help us spreading the message that is sustainability through um uh what could it be? Actually, I was just thinking about it yesterday. It could be sustainability through unity. It could be a very good logo, for this organization, for this platform. By telling, you can tell your peers about it, about how to help the animals. And even if you're not, interested, you can do whatever you want to do, but do it wisely. Adopt you can adopt the birds, you can uh, plant trees, contribute to afforestation, and use more public transport, which is not really easy nowadays time, but you can still waste less of um, the petrol, which is of course a demerit good, and taxes should be imposed on it. But unfortunately, some governments are not focusing very much on this, but we can try ourselves to do it. And because it's our job to raise responsibility and stand up against the wrong things, against cruelty and lies. And as human beings, we are superior than all other creatures, which means we have power and responsibility to help them and to protect them. So from today, I hope it is quite clear that we, act in a social responsible way, and we do everything we can to our limits to help the world, to help the planet, and to heal the world. Thank you.